Nathan Weinland with Remax Alliance here, and oh my gosh, man, the lifeboats, the ship is sinking. That's what the news is hollering. But let's look at what the truth really is. Now, I've gotten the question several times in the last couple days, how's the market doing? And markets are very regional, so you can look at some areas that might be struggling and other areas are really booming. What we really want to know is, how's northern Colorado looking? I just happened to get some current stats here and I was really surprised with them, so I want to take a few minutes and share those with you. So let's dive right in and take a peek at how is Fort Collins doing. And we'll look first off at detached houses, not condominiums, not townhomes, but detached homes. And I was really surprised to see some really good indicators for us. Right now, new listings is down a bit. Fewer people are listing, but just a small amount over last year. Pending sales are up a bit, so we've got more sales pending closings than we have in prior years. The number of units of sold is up. Wow, that's really interesting. More houses have closed so far year to date than they did in 2019. Then we have median sales price and average sales price, both up. So we're seeing a trend of houses getting more expensive, continuing even through this time right now. Days on market is also up, so it's taking a little bit longer to sell those properties. And the months of supply is down, so we have fewer of those homes on the market, 1.6 months. Now what that means is that if no new houses were to hit the market at all in Fort Collins, we would still have houses all the way up through 1.6 months. So that is what that stat says. Attached houses is very similar as well. So attached new listings are up, pending sales are up, sold units are way up, 33% up. We've sold more condos and townhomes by leaps and bounds over 2019, 33% more so far. That's really fascinating. Average sales price and median are up as well. The average sales price is up over 10% in attached houses right now. They've really made a huge jump even over just last year. Even through this time right now, we're still seeing them increase. And the days on market is up to 128. So if you're selling a condominium or townhome, expect it to take a little bit longer to get sold. Months of supply are up. There's 2 months worth of supply, so a little bit more on attached houses than there are on detached. Let's look at some of the other regions. But right now what we see is Wellington's numbers look very similar. I'm not going to go into them in that kind of detail, but Wellington right now, the number of new listings is down just a little bit, but the closed sales are up over last year. And of course, prices, average and median are both up as well. One of the other things that I'm seeing in Wellington is the days on market are up, the same with attached and detached, and up considerably, 30% and 40%. So days on market are now up to 104 up there. So in Wellington, if you got your house on the market, expect it to take just a little longer to close than usual. Looking at Windsor stats are very interesting as well. The newer listings are way down in Windsor. They're down 25%, so a lot fewer houses on the market. Yet, average and median sales prices are still on the climb. So we haven't seen that start to affect prices just yet. May in the future. Condominiums and townhomes, we are seeing new listings way down, 40% down compared to this time last year. So not a lot of inventory on the market over there in Windsor right now for the attached. But we're still seeing prices climb at about 4 to 5%. If we look at Loveland stats look a lot like Fort Collins. We're looking at a 21% increase in new listings, a lot more houses hitting the market. We're looking at closed sales up over 10%. We're looking at prices still climbing over there, 2.5%, 3%. And we're looking at the days on market are still climbing over there as well. So that's kind of a trend that we're seeing. It's taking a little bit longer to sell in all these markets. As far as townhomes and condominiums go, closed sales are just about exactly the same, with prices still increasing. So that's an interesting stat over in Loveland as well. Greeley is down a little bit. We're down in the new listings are down. As far as closed sales is down as well, but prices are still on the climb over there at about 4 to, whether you look at the median or whether you look at the average, we're looking at 4 to 9% increase in prices. So prices still climbing. As far as detached townhomes go, we're seeing a slump in both closed sales and new home sales over there, but we're still seeing prices increase. So usually when we start to see a slump in some of the closed houses and listings, that might not have an effect on pricing at all because we're not seeing a lot of new sales. If we saw new listings going way up and sales dropping way off, we'd probably see that hit prices, but that's not the trend we're seeing there. Now, that's not exactly what it feels like. It seems like those statistics are way off. And if we were to go out and ask a lot of the real estate agent, how is the market? About 60% say, oh, it's way off, it's way down, it's slow. I feel it's slow as well. I have a lot of small business owners in my database. They're struggling right now with buying a home. And I have a lot of seniors, and they're a little scared of letting people into their properties, letting buyers in, or going and looking at properties themselves. And rightfully so. It's a scary time to do that. So for us, it feels way off. But by the numbers, things are looking really good. And I think it's a lot of that pent-up demand that came from last year. And I think what we're going to see is a huge amount of pent-up demand that pushes towards the future, so that when things got to loosen up a little bit, we're going to see real strong demand, and we're going to see prices recover quickly if they've slumped at all. According to this, they haven't slumped much at all. 72% said that they have not had to reduce the price of the properties in order to attract buyers. It's an interesting statistic. Our days on market are a little bit longer, yet we're not having to do price reductions to get the houses sold. That tells you that the demand on houses is still pretty strong, and we're not having to start to bring that property price down in order to make sure the market flows. Great news if that continues moving forward. One other statistic that came up is 63% of buyers are expecting property values to come down, even though that's not what we're seeing and that's not what we're predicting to come up. So that means that a lot of buyers are holding off right now, not buying, so that they can get a great screaming deal that comes in the future. They're looking at like the 2008, 2009 timeframe saying, hey, prices adjusted down then, why won't they now? And those are totally different circumstances. The timeframe's totally different. The cause of those are totally different. And all indicators are saying right now, prices probably won't be affected. So we're going to have a lot of buyers that wait and then turn around and go, the price is never adjusted, so we might as well buy now. And I think that's where we're going to get that rubber band effect back up to where properties are going to really be moving quickly later on in the year. The last indicator that I saw here was unemployment rates in Colorado. Claims are way down this week over last week, so that's starting to really slow. Companies that were needing to lay off some employees and so forth have already done so, and I think we're going to see that start to make a good positive impact, especially if in the next 30 days we start to open up a lot of the sectors, and those sectors start to rehire, or new businesses start to come in to fill those gaps. One other piece that they talked about was the number of houses that are owned free and clear. We're talking about, it's doom and gloom. We're going to have a lot of foreclosures. We're going to have a lot of distressed property. 30% of the properties in Colorado are owned free and clear. And looking across at the rest of the country, there is a lot of states in there where almost 50% of the houses are owned free and clear, don't even have a mortgage. Much, much different equity positions than there were back in 2010. In 2010, there were tons of homes that were owned, that were upside down in their equity, there's a lot more owed on them. And that's just not the case now. So we're not going to see that distressed property peak and go through the roof like we did. Will there be some people that need some help in that area? Absolutely. And I'm a great resource to talk to them. If you come across anybody, I'd love to speak with them and tell them what their options are so they don't lose a house. But they're probably not going to see the numbers that we saw back in those days. Well, I hope you found this entertaining, and stay safe out there, stay warm, and enjoy yourselves. I know, LaCroix, it's like drinking a bubbly can of almost flavored stuff. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Bye-bye.